Hey guys, what's going on, dudes? It is David Interheaven, and we are back with another video. And in this video, guys, I'm going to be talking about some of the things that are going on when it comes to the sports I watch. So, we're going to be talking about some NASCAR, we're going to be talking about some Formula 1, and possibly a bit about IndyCar, but the main two are going to be NASCAR and Formula 1. Even though the IndyCar Championship is only like 3 races away from being done, and the champions 3 races away from being crowned. But it does look like, alright, so I guess this is the first part. There will be a part, like during the video, there will be parts that show you which topic. Starting off with IndyCar. IndyCar, like I said, 3 races left to go, or I think it's 2 actually. Scott Dixon is leading the IndyCar Championship. And when it comes to his only rival, that is Alexander Rossi. Now, in the last race, I didn't actually kind of watch it because I was watching NASCAR, basically. NASCAR wasn't there last weekend. I was watching Formula 1. So, but Alexander Rossi is like 90-something points back of... No, it's probably 40 points. What am I saying? I don't really know. I don't really watch that much IndyCar anymore. But Alexander Rossi is like 40 points back of Scott Dixon with like 2 or 3 races left to go. And to be honest, I think Scott Dixon is going to win the IndyCar Championship, and it's that's going to be I think that's his 3rd title. Hold on. Yeah, I think this is going to be his 3rd title. But that's done with IndyCar. Now for Formula 1. So now we are going to be talking about the Formula 1 Monza, or Italian Grand Prix if you want to call it that. Now, in the last race, Sebastian Vettel won the Belgian Grand Prix, which, funny enough, was actually a week ago from when the Italian Grand Prix is actually taking place. Now, Hamilton should have won that race, but Hamilton always has bad starts. And there was a huge crash on turn number 1 that I think Nico Hülkenberg did actually cause it, and I'm glad he did get a penalty for it, because that's unsafe driving. I don't care if you misjudge your braking point, that's unsafe driving. And then I think Valtteri Bottas got a penalty because he drove into the back of a Williams. And so yeah, but Nico Hülkenberg has like a 5-spot grid penalty, and Valtteri Bottas had a time penalty that was added on at the Belgian Grand Prix, which didn't make a difference because he was well ahead of 5th place, which means he finished in 4th. And if you guys don't know what the top 3 for the Belgian Grand Prix was, it was Sebastian Vettel, Lewis Hamilton, and Max Verstappen. Now, when it comes to the Monza Grand Prix that's coming up this weekend, I think it's going to be Lewis Hamilton, because anytime it seems like Hamilton is going to win the race, or Hamilton's predicted to win the race, and then Vettel wins the race, the next week Hamilton always bounces back and wins the race. It happened. Look at perfect example. Look at the British Grand Prix. Everybody said Hamilton was gonna win the British Grand Prix. Yes, he did have a problem, and yes, Sebastian Vettel ended up winning the race. But if you look at the race after that, the German Grand Prix, Sebastian Vettel made a mistake, and Lewis Hamilton capitalized on to win the German Grand Prix. If I am right, the points difference between Sebastian Vettel and Lewis Hamilton is 17 points, with Lewis Hamilton leading Sebastian Vettel. I don't think that's going to change. I think it's actually going to grow bigger this week at Monza, because the Ferrari don't seem to do good at their own home track. I mean, I actually saw this on Instagram. It's been 8 years. Sorry, I was about to say 7 because I thought this was 2017. It's been 8 years since Ferrari last won their home Grand Prix. And who do you think it was, guys? I'm going to give you 5 seconds to think who it was. It was Fernando Alonso back in 2010. That is the last Ferrari driver to win the Italian Grand Prix. Ferrari won a lot of Grand Prix since that Italian Grand Prix, but they've never won their home one. And I don't think it's going to continue. Now, when it comes to the top 5 predictions, I think it's going to be Hamilton, Bottas, Vettel, Raikkonen, and then Ricciardo. I'm gonna back Ricciardo to bounce back. Now, when it comes to best of the rest, besides Verstappen, obviously, best of the rest is probably gonna. I say it's probably gonna be one of the. Haas's like Kevin Magnussen or Romain Grosjean or one of the Force Indians, because that track is just suited to power, the cars with the most power in the engine, and those are the for Mercedes and Ferrari cars. So when it comes to like a McLaren or when it comes to like a Renault, I don't see them anywhere close to the top six. But I do see some of them finishing in the points. I really do see Fernando bringing McLaren up to finish 8th in the Italian Grand Prix. And then when it comes to the next race in Singapore after the Italian Grand Prix, that is a race I can't wait to predict, because that will be the race McLaren definitely does good, even though they should have done good in what was it called? Monaco. And they did terrible because Monaco is a technical track and McLaren have one of the best technical cars on the grid. But they still couldn't do anything about that. So, yeah, when it comes to the race, Hamilton's going to win. And when it comes to the qualifying, do I think Hamilton's going to get pole? No. I don't think Hamilton's going to get pole. I honestly believe that Valtteri Bottas will get the pole. And Hamilton will qualify second, and Vettel will start third. Now, that's really it with Formula One. I mean, there's no really big Formula One news besides Fernando Alonso already announced he was retiring. Carlos Sainz replacing Alonso in McLaren, which I actually called, and then Daniel Ricciardo moving to Renault. So, we're going to be moving on to the final topic of this video, guys. NASCAR. So, here we go with part 3 and the final part of this episode for David Talks. If you guys didn't actually know that, I didn't say at the beginning of this video, but this is David Talks, and it will be in the title. It may be a little back, but before I get off topic, NASCAR. This weekend is the weekend that everybody has wanted to see for the past couple of months, because everybody has been announcing their throwback paint scheme for Darlington since I think March or April. And I'm actually excited because I've seen a lot of good throwback schemes. I'm not showing favoritism just because he was Jeff Gordon driving, but the Zalta paint scheme for William Byron is down to a T. Probably one of the best ones of the drivers that are driving in this weekend. I mean, that car, it looks almost exactly like the 24 car, the Rainbow Warrior that Jeff Gordon was driving for all those years. Now, I mean, he was basically driving for Rainbow Warriors around like the times I wasn't even born. And then when it came to the Flame paint scheme, that's the paint schemes I always remember from 2006 up until I think it was 2012 when he got the AARP sponsorship. But that car looks very, very good, and I'm excited to see this race this weekend. But when it comes to other schemes, I mean, I've seen the 2 car, I've seen the 22, I've seen the 48, and I've seen the 11. The 11, I know it's the 11 car, Denny Hamlin. I know it's a paint scheme that throws back to himself when he was young, but it doesn't look that good. It really doesn't. I mean, that's his opinion, and he's throwing back to himself. And I mean, I can't say anything because Jimmy Johnson's actually throwing back to himself, but at least his car looks good. Now, the 9 car, Chase Elliott, your car is Chase Elliott's car just looks good and everything like that. Now, with the big rumors coming in NASCAR, there's a rumor going around that Furniture Row could possibly not be with Joe Gibbs Racing come next season, and there's a possibility that Martin Truex Jr. could not be a part of Furniture Row next season. Now, do I think Furniture Row will stay on with Joe Gibbs? I don't know. Do I think Martin Truex Jr. will stay on with Furniture Row? Yes. Because I only see 2 options for Furniture Row right now. I mean, they say they're going bankrupt, but I don't think they're going to go bankrupt. So I see 2 options for Furniture Row right now. One of them is Toyota. I don't know if they're going to stay with Toyota, but the other option possibly is a move to Ford. And if they move to a Ford, then that'd be kind of a benefit for them because the Roush engines are just very good, and Ford seemed to be doing good with Tony Stewart's team. Tony Stewart's team has won like the most races this season. You gotta remember, Kevin Harvick's won 7, Clint Bowyer's won 2, and Kurt Busch has won 1. That's literally 10 races compared to Kyle Busch, who has 6. And then after that, for Joe Gibbs' Eric Jones would have won. So that Ford is just doing impressive, though. I hate to say that, though. I want to see Chevy doing impressive, but Chevy is in a rebound year, considering they just unveiled the new car this year, and they are trying to work out everything with the whole new car and how it drives, but it does look like it's getting better for Chevrolet. So another rumor going around is the fact that Daniel Suarez could be leaving the team of Joe Gibbs and moving on to Levine Family Racing. I don't see that happening. I straight up don't see that happening. Daniel Suarez is a very young talent for Joe Gibbs Racing, and I feel like they should keep him because their whole team is now basically full of young talent. If you guys remember, Eric Jones is like 20, 21. Daniel Suarez is around the same age. Kyle Busch is only 31. And then Denny Hamlin is like 34, 35. So they're set for like the next few years. They don't have to really change anything. And if they want to, they can. I mean, they could like, if they continue their partnership with Furniture Road, they can like probably hopefully fund like 2 cars for them, so that they can put some of their young drivers like they did with Eric Jones in there until like somebody like Denny Hamlin retires or FedEx leaves the 11. Because that's the reason I see another new driver joining Joe Gibbs. And concerning Joe Gibbs, by the way, Christopher Bell. I actually like Christopher Bell in the Xfinity Series. Apparently, it's rumored that he doesn't want to stay in the Xfinity Series one more year. But you gotta remember, Chase Elliott stayed in the Xfinity Series 1 year. He won the championship. William Byron stayed in the Xfinity Championship, won the championship. If Christopher Bell doesn't win the championship, I wouldn't call him up. I wouldn't, because to race in the Monster Energy Cup Series, I think you would have to do good in both the championships. I mean, he's won the Truck Series now, and it seems likely that he will be winning the Xfinity Series championship, but that's still yet to get to the playoffs. But with the whole NASCAR thing, rumors thing, is just that most of these rumors around are probably going to come true. Most of them are probably going to not. So back to what I was saying before I started talking about these rumors. As as I was saying before, because the NASCAR race is this weekend, it's in Darlington, and I'm gonna give a prediction for the Darlington race. Now, most of my predictions don't come true, and that's completely fine. That's why it's called a prediction. But my prediction for the Darlington race, even though I hate to go with one of the big 3, I'm putting my money on Kyle Busch. And if not Kyle Busch, I'm putting my money on Ron Truex Jr. Because those two just do good basically every year at Darlington. And like always, in my prediction video, I'm going to go for an outsider pick. And always, my 2 outsider picks are William Byron and Bubba Wallace. And I don't need to explain because you guys already know. I just want them to win one race, whether it's this year or next year. So that's basically it, guys. So yeah, I'll see you guys later in next episode, which is not the next episode. The next. I'll see you guys next week. Peace.